going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 2 Cents, where we talk about any and everything and give our 2 cents. Look here, it's your man Romy Mac here, and it's going to be me, Shugga, and and that man they call Croombe. You know, Halloween coming up. Hopefully everybody's being safe about it. I just saw that story about about this cat out here, I believe in West Palm, that got stabbed at a Halloween party. So, you know, condolences out to his family. But you know, of course, without further ado, let me bring forth Shugga and Croombe family. What's going on? Yeah. I don't know if y'all had seen it, but this guy went to a Halloween party, and on the way out, you know, he was ambushed by like a group of folks, and they ended up stabbing him to death. You know, it's very, very tragic. You know, situation. I hate to start the show off like that, but this is just, you know, something that you know, that was brought to my attention, and I felt the need to, you know, to dwell on, but nevertheless, you know, yeah. So Shug, how was the week so far?
The week was alright, I guess. You know, had a blues infection today.
Yeah. What about my big bro, Croombe? Jeff, what's happening?
It's been hard. I went to school today. The back of my car is like low, so I'm having to like get it parked so bad. I called in earlier, so you know how I feel about it. But,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
Get my local get my car, get out in my local next
Fuck. Okay, well, let's get right into it, man. Obviously, it's a Halloween season, and first topic at hand we're gonna discuss is you know, I think it's more so debates back in the day. You know what I mean, when we used to go on trick or treating, because I don't think our big asses should be out there trick or treating unless we're going with our kids or nephews, nieces, godchildren, whatever the case. But Halloween candy. What I would say, what's the Halloween candy that you love? I mean, for me, a lot of people hate this candy, but I really digged on candy corn, right? You know what I'm saying? Like what is it? The chews with just like the I might even talked about this last year, but fuck it, it's Halloween, so this is the only time we talk about this bullshit. The chews, at least for us, you know, the candy lady that used to be in we used to go candy lady that was in College Square. At least when I was in high school, the girl that I was dating, she didn't live too far from the candy lady, so we would go there for $1. We get 100 chews, so a penny a chew. Come back with like the blueberries, cherry, strawberry, peach chews, you know. So the dollar chews is what I would like to refer to that. They were good. You can never go wrong with the pink and red Starburst, or if you was fortunate enough to get like the wild berry joints, the wild berry Starburst. They used to be real broken up in class. What, the tropical, the wild berry, and then, you know, the regular Starburst shit. But what about you, Shug? What was some of your favorite Halloween candy?
I mean, those candy corns are hard. Eat those teeth feel sick. I like to get those. Used to come in a little small 4-pack or whatever. Some people used to get those out. Those were pretty good. Anything with chocolate, especially Tootsie Rolls. That's what I love most of, the Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, when we get to hate candy, I'm gonna talk to you about that shit, them Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah. But Croombe, man, come on, talk to me, man. What's some of the Halloween candy that you like, that you would fuck up?
Tootsie Rolls, man.
Yeah, see, now that's the difference. Yeah, I don't like that chocolate shit, but those fruity Tootsie Rolls. Yeah. What is it? They had like a fruit punch Tootsie Roll. They had what was it? The lemon lime Tootsie Roll. Yeah. And then and what he said, vanilla? Hell yeah, that vanilla shit. Was
they like not just orange, like they all flavored?
Yeah, that vanilla shit was potent, man. That was potent product right there.
Kind of like Don things, but I like Don.
Yeah. Okay. You talk about we can talk about fucking what is it? The candy that we didn't like now. Number one, anything peppermint should not be candy. I feel like that does a job. That keeps your damn breath smelling nice. I don't want any Listerine candy. You know.
Christmas candy for last year. That's what it was.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want any, I wouldn't want any. If I was the kid today, don't put any butterscotch. I feel like any parent that puts out butterscotch does not love children.
I like butterscotch.
Fuck, that is church candy. You know that. That is the shut the fuck up while the pastor's talking candy. But butterscotch candy. What else is some candy that's just horrible to all be damned? Shit. Mint. Yeah, mint, butterscotch.
Back in the day, man, it looked like bigger eggs and nasty. Oh, those were good. I hated them.
The little heart of their candy. Oh man.
Nah. I was just never a fan of that. So I mean, so Shug, what type of candy what Halloween candy did you hate getting when you were little?
Well, I'm big on sweets, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint what I do not actually like. I like all kind of candy, just about all of it, except for the mint, but the butterscotches, I thought they were good.
But the least favorite, what was the least favorite Halloween?
Take the good candy from us, though. They would take like my favorite candy, and they would say that they had glass or something, and they would take it from us like they threw it away, and they would stick it in the toilet closet and hide it from us. My mom loved candy, so she would hide it and sneak the candy from us, tell us it was bad for us all the time. I used to get real mad about that. Once we found that candy that's coming for us, we had to fix it. Yeah, I love sweets. I mean, it's hard to be like, but I really like it. As long as they don't have coconut in it.
All right, Croombe, man, what was that candy that you used to just toss to your little brother or a little cousin? You know what I'm saying?
There's candy out there that's like, it's hard candy.
What is it called?
I don't know what it is. It's like some off day type shit. But the damn candy is it's so fucking nasty.
What do you think like?
It tastes like, if you ever like had washing powder, like on your hands or something, you like, it's like,
You know like a sweet powder?
No, it's not sweet powder. It tastes like washing powder, like the shit you wash dishes with, the powder that you put on your hands on.
Them niggas got like that. They try to get stuff in that neighborhood. I don't know how to get them. I don't think that was
It's disgusting, and what I like was cigarette bath.
I'll tell you what else is bad. Fucking Twizzlers, yo. I fuck with like pull and peel, but that regular Twizzler shit or licorice. Licorice candy is for the devil. That shit is
black licorice.
Fuck licorice.
Yeah, black licorice is disgusting.
Yeah, that shit is horrible, man. That is a horrible fucking thing to give to a child. Licorice shit. Don't put that in my damn bag. How about that? Just don't put that in my bag. Don't put licorice in my... I don't mean to be ungrateful when I come to your house, but don't put licorice in the bag. That's how the fuck I feel about it. So yeah. Okay, let's talk about... I'm gonna ask y'all, man. Like, I don't know if y'all dressed up for Halloween growing up, but what was some of the... I would say some of the costumes that y'all wore?
The costume, man, my mom was like, she was like real cheap with me. We had the, the plastic costumes with the faces.
Mm-hmm.
Only lasted just for Halloween things. I know my parents was ghetto one year. I didn't know what I wanted to be. So my mom made me wear some pink pajamas with the feet, what they call them now?
What?
Pajamas, what the hell they call them now?
What?
So I had to wear that. She went to the store and bought a pair of bunny ears, put that on, painted my nose, and said I was a rabbit for Halloween.
What, you put on a onesie?
Yes.
Yeah. Croombe, what were some of the costumes you wore for Halloween, bro?
Right, man. I don't even remember that in my costume. I know I went as a nigga asked for candy a bunch of times. At least when their parents got creative, we went and did acting games.
Yeah, that's funny, man. From what I can remember, I know I was a Ninja Turtle at least more than once. I was the Cowardly Lion. I was definitely a Cowardly Lion. That was I think that was kindergarten. Kindergarten to first grade, I was the Cowardly Lion. What did I do 1 year? I don't know. Hip hop was at a gangster stage, so I think I was like a gangster hip hop artist or some shit. Then not in like '94, so I had like the fucking like the vest and the black shirt, and I think like a Scully or some shit. I look like fucking Hammer on the fucking It's All Good video or some shit, probably. Most recently, like last year, you know, I went as I was an NWA member. I had on white shoes, black pants, with an NWA shirt and a Raiders hat. You know, I guess I could be a roadie. I guess that could be considered like a roadie. And I had black glasses to go with it. So I mean, it was fresh, but nothing with like but so much I would say work put into it. I've seen some wild costumes, man, like going to like clubs, and then, you know, like they take these, you know, these I would say these contests very seriously because of the detail. Excuse me. There was one couple, man, they went as like when Avatar was popping. So I was in, you know, this is when I was in the club back in like 2010. What I had to be like 25. Yeah, I was 25. And, you know, their costume was so detailed, man. I don't know. They might have been naked, shit, as far as I know. But those motherfuckers were painted well. They looked just like, you know, the main characters. You know, Zoe Saldana's character and that motherfucker from Clash of the Titans character on Avatar. It was cold though. It was cold. It was real dope. I liked it. You know, it's always cool to see folks put all that money into it. And there was some cats that were dressed like fucking what is it, Daft Punk. Yeah, that was dressed like Daft Punk. He had like a gang of fucking lights on him. And that was a cool costume. That's the one that actually won that contest. That was at Passions. They actually shut down Passions, man. Passion had a lot of Halloween memories in there, man. I would say me and my best friend, you know, we were in as a matter of fact, H Boog, man. Shout out to H Boog, man. Love you, bro. We were in I came down from North Carolina to visit. And we go to this club, and, you know, we just vibing, everybody just cooling and chilling. This motherfucker was like drunk off his ass, and he was like shirtless. I don't know what his costume was. His costume was shirtless motherfucker that night, as far as I know. And he comes up, you know, he's just like, he's eyeballing every guy in the club, and he like looks at me, and I'm like, is he serious? Like he's like 5'4". The guy's fucking 5'4", like eyeballing me. Like he want to do something, and I'm just like, all right, man. You know, I'm here on vacation, man. I ain't really trying to get involved in no shit. So 30 minutes go by, and the motherfucker starts looking at, you know, my boy H or whatever, and doing the very same thing. And then 10 minutes go by, and he's doing the same thing to, you know, H's brother. So we pretty much just rounding up, like, how are we really gonna handle this shit? But his homie that was with him comes up, man. I think he saw, like, you know, how aggressive he was getting and how we were feeling about it. He comes up like, man, he's drunk, man. I'm like, we pretty much like, hey, man, you're pretty much outnumbered. You know, I don't really think you want to go. I don't think you want to go there. But you know, I didn't see us fighting in no club, man. We're too old for that shit. Too grown. I was what, 27. Yeah, it was like 27 at the time. Yeah, 26, 27. Anybody trying to fight in the club with them dumb shit, especially not on Halloween. We here to have a good time. But that was just a very funny memory, you know, on Halloween, being in the club Passion. So another friend of mine hit me the game about you know, a topic. So I just want to discuss this shit and talk about this whole thing of, I mean, you guys are married, but I want to know what you guys, I don't know, your thoughts on this whole concept of like friends with benefits, and if it I want to say if it works, you know, and if it works, and then how long do you think that type of shit would last? So I'll go with Shug, you being the lady of the show. What are your thoughts on, you know, friends with benefits and how long you think that will possibly last?
I mean, I guess it just depends on the individuals involved. I mean, if they have some type of understanding of, you know, hey, this is justice and that's it, you know. I don't know. I mean, do as long as it works, you know. Yeah. Friends with benefits, I don't know. I mean, it works for some, but not for all.
Right. I mean, so I mean, do you think like I would say in another world, and you know, you and Croombe, you guys haven't met or whatever. That's something. You feel like that, and you don't have no kids. You know, you feel like that's something that you could possibly do for a little while, like to have I would say have a friend with benefits.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you were supposed to have been a friend with benefits, but I guess neither one of us got that memo. I didn't move in. I just forgot some things on accident, you know. Yeah, we're supposed to be friends with benefits, but,
right.
You know, supposed to move them to bigger things than that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Croombe, man. You know, I'm just out of curiosity. There's no sugar in your life. You know, no kids, and it's just us roaming. We're just roaming the streets. You think you be able to like sustain a friends with benefits type I would say relationship?
I would have mad girls out there in the streets. Like.
Yeah. I mean, but on some serious shit, how long do you feel like, you know, you could go on with you know, like friends with benefits before having to transcend to something else?
I don't know. As long as they know, I don't know, man. As long as they know they like, I don't want to say know their conditions, but it depends on the two people, man.
Yeah, it does depend on the two people. You know, because some people be like, yeah, it's good sprinkle benefits, and then they might start catching feelings, and you have to like, hey, oh no, you said we came to this agreement, you know, unless they both want to change that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, is it possible? Hell yeah, it's possible. But in order for it to, you know, to run its course, everyone has to be honest about how they're feeling, regardless if the other person doesn't feel that. See, a lot of people are so afraid to get hurt that they withhold information of how they feel, not knowing the individual might even feel the very same way. And that's not to say that they don't feel the same way. You know what I mean? So it's one of those I don't know, it's one of those situations where you just gotta jump out of, again, it's, you know, we talked about this before, but you gotta jump out of that plane without a parachute, you know, and you'll see what happens. Sometimes you get a parachute, sometimes somebody will catch you, and other times they don't. But at least you have the courage, you know, of your convictions, as Skip Bayless would say, to do so. It's one of those. It's a touchy subject, and when it's good, it's good. You know what I mean? Like the sexual chemistry's there. You know, you just roll with it. You know, you really do roll with it, and you have to keep things in mind as far as like what we were based on. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got individuals that's willing to lie to you, you know what I'm saying? Then that's bad from the jump. You need somebody that's going to be able to be brutally honest with you and be like, listen, I know you feel a certain way about me now that we've been fucking, but I'm not in for that right now. You know what I'm saying? Now you can either stay and we can continue this covert operations that we got going on, or you can or if your emotions are too much, whether that's male or female, if your emotions are too much, then we need to we need to assess, you know, we need to assess the situation, talk about it, and possibly end this shit. You know, it's just one of those things that you know, you have to deal with, you know, as adults, and that's what it would boil down to. So is friends with benefits something that could work? Yeah, sure it can work, but I don't see it working in a long-term sense, because I mean, no one's that, I don't believe anybody's that heartless to go, like, let's just say 10 years of us just being friends with, benefits. You know what I'm saying? I would suspect that a person has a a wife or a husband type shit, because at that point, you spent ample amount of time together. You're whether you know it or not, you're in a relationship. It's just a very open relationship. That's all that means. So you got to just ask yourself, is this what you're down for? Because again, you have things, you decide you want kids. It takes a certain type of relationship to build kids with. You know what I mean? You don't want to bring a child into a hostile situation. So, with that being said, give things some, the required thought, and decide what you want to do. And I'll go with that. So, moving on to other things, like the show Marlon. I advise everyone to watch the show Marlon. It's a very funny show. But one thing that I picked up from the show Marlon was like how he just constantly hung around his ex, like they were just, his ex-wife. This now was what I mean. But I want to know, would you I'm asking anyone who's listening to the podcast, ask yourself in your mind, would you be able to live with, I don't care if you're married or if you just got out of a relationship like myself not too long ago, but would you be able to live with your ex, whether you guys have kids or not, but just like living standards wise, I don't think Marlon lived there. But I want to ask that question anyway. You think you would be able to live with your ex, or just be around them, roughly after, things have like died down from the breakup? You think you would be able to to be around them and just function normally? So I will ask, Shugga. Let's just say that things tend to not rock with you and Croombe. Do you think that you would be able to like live with him on the sake of like raising you guys child together? Is that something that you see would be an option, or it's like, hell no, get the fuck out of my spot, and we gotta we gotta like split visitation and shit.
Well, I mean, the concept of how it is on Marlon, it sounds pretty cool and all, but in the real world, in reality, it's like, I don't think that would work there. I'm sure it's for some people, but I don't know. Because, it'd be awkward, certain situations will start to come off. I guess, like you start dating other people and stuff, and they see you close with this other person. Your ex is at your house every day, and they, that causes problems. They'll think that y'all still got some type of relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it could cause problems. In reality, it would be awkward. Maybe, I'm sure it's doable, maybe, but I think it depends on like where I would be at, where I would be in life. I feel like a much older person, but I probably care less. Other stuff, but some people, I would say like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just where people would be at in a certain point in their life where probably would be that big of a deal.
It would be like how close were you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like
if you guys was like this. Let's say y'all was just friends first, and then y'all thought it was good, and y'all broke up. That'll be like a full of tennis type stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a little bit easier if you would get with.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, just sit here and, because that's the kid how to play for kids.
I know, he has no play. He just always tells me, scary, hanging out. They go and do stuff together with them without the team. They're like more friends.
I saw that on another show where they ended up being together.
They were going to they were going to try to, and it didn't turn out. They had plans. They were like, no, they knew that they were going to both get feelings, and they didn't want to, hurt each other again. So they ended up. That's another. They're marry each other.
Yeah.
They're good. I'm gonna keep you around, but for the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So Croombe, man, I know you gave your little piece a little bit, but what's what's your stance on it, bro?
What's my stance on?
As far as like, you think you would be able to live? Let's say again, things don't work out with you and Shugga. How you think that's something you'd be able to do? As far as like, you guys I would say coexisting.
We don't like stuff. Only like green.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah. Okay.
I just love to be outright.
I would like y'all.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
I would enjoy. I would be. I'm the one that would be Marlon. I would be.
All right. Well, okay, I put it like this. For at least for me, living with my ex, I doubt it. I doubt it very seriously. I don't see that. Yeah, I definitely don't see that happening whatsoever. Based off of the terms that we left on, and I solely wish her the best, man. I wish I was more mature to deal with the situation that I fell into. I guess pretty much just say that. So I doubt that she would really want to deal with me per se in that manner. As far as like, yeah, live under the same roof, nah, man. Like I don't see. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't work out. A couple exes. I mean, it just made it very clear when somebody says, like, when you become an ex, you're an ex. Like, I don't, you disappear. I totally respect that shit. But I wouldn't be able to do. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be able to live with my ex. Like, as far as like the Marlon shit, that's like we said. That's like for the TV. That shit is all cool, but we ain't living together. Like, it's if we have a child or something like that, I catch you in passing. Make sure that I pick up my little man, my little mama, but. That's pretty much about it, man. It's a rough situation, but I really don't feel like I would be able to. I know, I wouldn't do it. That's that's and I'll leave it as such. But what else we want to rap about today? I saw a video this morning that kind of fucked me up, man. I didn't think that we've gone this bad as a society, but this lady's from Pittsburgh, man. They showed this video. It's like on a corner or something, and this guy just knocks this woman out, man. It's a white woman, and I think it was a black guy. I couldn't really get a good visual. Not that it matters whether or not he was black or white, but you know how like the media twist shit. But he knocks the white woman down. Literally, he punches her in the fucking face and walks the fuck away. And not only that, moments later, like it's like I can't confirm. It was 4 black teenagers, or I would say young boys. You know what I'm saying? They're taking pictures with their phone at this shit. Now I'm like, this is a woman. This is a lady. I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like they're taking pictures. I think one even laid down beside her and took a selfie. Are we really fucked up? Are we really that fucked up as a society that we're taking pictures down beside women that have just been battered and bruised? Like, what type of respect level, man? Like, it makes me, we are very lost as a society if we are really doing these things, man. And that's not to judge anyone, but I just didn't really, that shit is foul, bro. On all ends, you know what I mean? Like, they're just taking pictures. One even went up and tried to took the money that was on her, took her wallet. It was disgusting. You know what I mean? Like the watch. I couldn't fathom seeing a woman being beat by a man, and then recording her, and then deciding to rob her. Like, what type of mind? I mean, the mindset is just I don't know, man. That's I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't brought up that way to to even allow that to go on, and even the stuff I know as a grown up, not allow that to go on. But Shugga, I mean, you said you watched the video. I mean, what was your immediate thought when you saw this shit?
Man, first of all, he knocked her out like she was do. And I don't know if the guy knew her or what the situation was. That was just, I mean, you could have down the street and somebody gonna knock you out. Like, that's crazy, And it was I'm kind of shocked. I mean, yeah, and then the people that were taking the photos, that's just disgusting. Lay down and take photos with her. Somebody stole her wallet or something, I think. And, I don't know, the whole thing just don't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It seemed like those people that were involved either were, they had to have been connected with each other somehow. I'm sorry, if I see a chick laying on the ground, I'm not going to run up and take a bunch of selfies. I'm going to check and make sure she,
was
okay. I don't know if they knew her or something, and hey, whatever the case is, it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
No.
And, it's sad because stuff like that happens, and I'm still plenty of bystanders around, but, people live by that code, they don't snitch. So nobody's going to say anything, about who, but, it's just sad this day and age that people are doing it. And the people, they're all pretty young, too. That's the thing. They're pretty young. The individuals that were, taking photos of ladies. So, that's why nobody has not just for women, but just people in general. Nobody has sex, for anything. For themselves or each other. They just don't care.
Yeah.
It's bad,
Yeah, Croombe, I'm not sure if you saw it, man, but based off of, my detail of it and, Shug's, portrayal of what happened, man. I mean, what'd you think about it?
Let it do, man. People do. They keep doing it now for fun. They go and punish a random person, try not to come out and do that. It's like a game. I know that for a fact. So, it is a problem. It's the game of something. They don't even have to know. Now, you got to think about it. Age for world stuff, all that kind of shit started. That's what we do now. Nothing is all that. That doesn't shock me at all. None of that shocks me, man. I don't even know why people be shocked. When the world star age is known for that.
Yeah.
They record people get beat up all the time. They recorded my boy going to jail now. Putting the hands on that secret boy did.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't even that far back when he did that. So why would it shock anybody now that this kind of stuff happens? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just some things you just don't really want to believe, that someone would allow. I mean, granted, I can see the man knocking out the woman. Sad to say, I can see that happening. I can see a woman getting a guy upset to do so, and then a guy not being mature enough to manage his emotions and then retaliating as such. But to record this woman, you know what I'm saying? This woman is being recorded laying in pain, man. That shit is bogus to me, bro. That shit is fucking bogus. But also what else, that happened, man, those that are, sports parents, a football fight broke out in Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah. So what happened is the winning team, for those that are not very, football friendly, normally when the game is about at its, it's at end and there's a few seconds or maybe a minute left, you tend to take a knee to just end the game. That's what you do. The other team doesn't have any timeout, so there's no way to stop time from expiring. So the winning team takes a knee, and one of the players off the losing team hauled off and hit the shit out of the quarterback. And that sent everyone at the game into pandemonium between the players and the parents, and it was just it was pandemonium you know, they were just going at each other, and it was it was wild. That football brings out this type of emotion to where, you know, parents are, you know, I mean, your first impulse as a parent is to protect your child against anyone naturally. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, I get the parent that the quarterback that was that was hit going out there. So, but you had everybody going after each other, losing team against the winning team, and it was just it was bad. It was bad to see adults. I mean, some adults went away in handcuffs. You know, the kids. Some kids were crying. But I mean, I would say good thing about this situation was to see one of the players, like two players, one from the winning team, one from the losing team. They showed them hugging or whatever. This is all through like this a lady's Facebook video, you know, just showing, you know, even despite all of the anarchy going on the field, that, you know, you still, you know, there's still, so I would say, a ray of hope for, you know, to bring folks together. But I mean, I just think about that for me, you know, if that was my son and he was the quarterback and he was tackled, what would be my reaction? I probably would flip out too, you know, because again, me being into football so much, and then that to be my son, you know, the emotions would definitely run high. I'm not really one to show much of emotion, but you put me, you give me a controller in my hand and let me play something like, you know, hockey, NHL 18 or something, a video game, or Madden or 2K, you'll see the emotional side of me. You want to see the emotional side of a man born, you know, between 1980 and now? Give him a controller and watch that just watch that motherfucker for like 20 minutes, and you're gonna see an emotional side of him come out that you've never seen before. It's gonna make you laugh like fuck, but it's the emotional side. So, but you know, getting back to the point, I would definitely be I would definitely be high on emotion if I saw my son being, you know, tackled, and I would definitely go out there to defend him. I don't know about necessarily fighting another parent, but I would definitely be high on emotion. So I'll ask you two, as parents, you know, Shugga, let's just say, you know, for whatever reason, you know, a baby girl decides to play football. It's like a women's, let's say there's like a women's league in softball or something. And, you know, someone, you know, like one of the girls throw a pitch, or like when she tries to slide, they hit her, you know, fairly hard, something like that. What would be your immediate reaction to seeing your child being hurt?
Immediately get up and start swinging.
Yeah.
And I'm a small person, so I can't anybody the fence anyway. So I'm gonna stand behind the fence. She better, or I'll probably stand back and watch the situation unfold between kids. That's what should have happened. What the kid that got hit does and the other one does, if they're still going at it, you know, then yeah, you know, referee or somebody here step in, let them do their job, you know. If they're not doing their job, then I would take it up with that person. Not trying to fight them, but I'll use some fighting words, that's for sure, you know, at them for not handling the situation. But from what I saw, I don't know the whole story. There's like, I'm always saying this, but, you know, there could be more to that story. That particular kid could have been doing a lot of good stuff on the field, you know. That possibly might have not have been his first time, and the coach or the referee probably didn't do anything about it, like take him out of the club, you know, because he's standing with the other kids. Mm-hmm. So they should have, if it's something that, you know, if the parents just got upset and talk about it, then okay, yeah, I'm not about it as right for kids, parents should be brawling, but somebody needed to step in and stop that, you know. So we only see from that incident when the kid got kneed in the face, the chest, or something.
Yeah.
But it seemed to me that maybe it was something that was escalating into that. Because, you know, usually you just, you know, do that. You wait, see what the referees and the coaches are going to do about the situation first. And yeah, that kid was being an asshole. They should have pulled him out of the game a long time ago. You know, said, hey, no, you're not gonna play anymore. You're acting like you know, you're being a jerk. Other kids are not having fun, as you can see. And I think it was the end of the video. Two kids were crying from. They were both from opposing teams, both fighting each other.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what I was referring. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, so I'm sure there was more to it than just that one. You know.
Yeah. So for yeah. So Croombe, man, your little man just got sacked, man. What's your immediate reaction?
I'm trying to have my kids to like innovate stuff anyway. Because yeah, like I think it like this has nothing to do, but I think that you just more serious than they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't throw hands out to do like, you know, this is a big fight, you did emotions out, he's throwing feelings out, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you've seen it in multiple like situations. Like let's just say it was baseball and he threw a ball at my kid's head and you know, something like why he didn't have like he don't have a helmet on.
Yeah.
So what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna sit there and let it happen? Hell no. If it was a grown ass man, I'd be laying hands on him too. So
yeah.
like I'm not that's more evidence sitting back and all this. No, hell no.
I mean, I can't even fight, so why? I mean, when am I gonna fight some kids? They about my daughter's like, oh, pull some more and have my side. Like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do? I can fight some kids my size, you know, but I can't fight some kids.
You already know how I am, man. You know that ain't happening.
Yes, sir.
And I'm bloody. I can damn bloody.
I'm serious. If it was something that was kept going on and they didn't do anything about it, I would probably pull my kid out. Because I say, you know, this is it, right? You know, that, you know, I could have pulled my kid out. I know something to go down. Or, you know, hey, I'm here. You know, the video was this little boy did. He was telling me he had to have been a physical accident. He went. And it's like, you can tell he went after the team. So I don't, but you know, you see kids, I see kids play, and some of them just do stuff just to be assholes. Other kids are just trying to, you know, enjoy the game and play and this and that. You just want overly aggressive kids for no reason. It's for no reason. And then you feel like, hey, what's going on together? Why are they acting? Yeah. I think the one that's so then, don't have to deal with them. You know, we'll be there. They want to share that the kids from other teammates do because it happens to the point where some kids fed up with some bullshit that's the ball and you got power of it. They ran the field.
Yeah.
But no, and it's just like that. This shouldn't happen. There's a bunch of brothers. No. Yeah, they ran it, and okay, whatever, but get the ball, you know?
Yeah.
So some think about, you know, keep your audiences or keep the way when you start looking up to the like having an all-out brawl. Now we got parents who have blood dripping down. We don't know who the is. That might not have been one of the two kids that one of those individuals.
The last thing I want to touch on before we close out and allow you to do your rant and Jeffrey to put people on. That big crit is out, but so, you know, that's just my piece on it. Yeah. So the Houston Texans owner, I guess he was interviewed or something like that, and it was on the subject of kneeling, and his statement, you know, I mean, he apologized for it, but I don't need your apology for some shit that you say. You're letting yourself out. He says, you know, if we allow them to kneel during the national anthem, it'll be like the inmates are running the prison. So he refers to his football players, whether black or white, but I'm pretty sure we know where he's going with this, that they're inmates, and they would be running the prison. So that would make him a warden, would it not? You know what I'm saying? Like these things, you gotta be very tactful with what you say. You know, he apologized for his his wording, but you know, it's the secret's out now, bro. You know, that's how you feel. You know, you feel like that. You know, your players are inmates. So, you know, is it shocking? No, it's not shocking. I don't. You know, I was talking with a good friend of mine. Good brother, man. And we were discussing as far as like, you know, the shit that we saw growing up, and like the people that he knew. And he moved back to his hometown and realized that there's a lot of hatred and I will say racism spewed around him that he never really saw before, and it's just sad to see. But I'm not shocked, and I was telling him I'm not shocked when I see shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as my experiences growing up, and I'm sure Croombe can attest to it growing up in North Carolina, I'm not shocked when I see shit like this or hear shit about this, because there are some people that, I mean, racism is taught. Ain't gonna tell me shit. If kids, again, I'm sure, my niece, when she goes to, the playground or whatever, she doesn't see color. She just sees, are you able to play with us? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So to have a world that, and parents that say, hey, you are not to play with that child because she's white. You're not to play with that child because she's black is downright despicable, for one. And it's it could be off of prejudice. Some can be prejudice, some can be perceived as racism. It's just the innate need to want to protect your child from harm. And based off the statistics, a person of this color has caused harm to a person of this color. But people are people. And that's just what it boils down to. But I want to know, Ebony, I mean, this is your state right here, Texas. So what did you think about this statement, as far as this Houston owner saying that the inmates would be running the prison if they kneeled during the national anthem?
Well, first of all, Texas is a big state, and growing up, I always told certain places you have to stop in. So, this is ridiculous. Yeah, and it's like I said before, these guys, these people, they treat them like, yeah, they got a justice and this. They ain't got no opinion. But I mean, I think the military, for one, people like me, I can't say certain things. I can't say about the president. And everybody in there, I can't sit around and I can't go to protest in uniform, or we need to go to that, or if I do, I'm going to be violated. I can't, say, hey, what I do for a living, none of that type of stuff. So I mean, but in a sense, if I wanted to, protest inequality, I mean, it's not the military. Why are they limiting what people can and cannot do? They're working, yes, they did their job to play football. Okay, they play a game. But I think the thing is, these are first of all, their money messed up. Because, I don't know if they still are getting paid, but the NFL was getting paid by the military to pretty much do this so-called, the NFL is so patriotic towards us, in the military that we just go across the people and roll a big flag, and honor somebody that just came from a deployment or something like that. I mean, it's all bullshit. Because we haven't the past year. What else? The roll flag across there and have people stand up, put their hands over their heart. That's all it is. They think their money is going to get that stuff. They're not going to get that money. So they're like, hey, they paying us to do this. We want to do this. And, and they so that whole September 11th. Let me tell you something. They did that way after September 11th. So all these people crying and whining and bitching about, oh my gosh, they doing this. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They just messing up their money. Plain and simple. If the NFL had any real sense about patriotism, it wouldn't use my language. It's the fucking stars even advertise on their field. for them to, these owners, these NFL owners, having it's fake ass patriotism. They just want that money. They want people to come to this, and they're going to use any and everything, by any means necessary to get that money, other than just having players go on the field and play, So, it is.
Yeah.
That's just the way that I see it. They just want their money and stuff.
All right, Croombe, give me that rawness, man. I need that rawness, man. What you think about the situation with Houston? The owner saying this shit.
I mean, how long have I been saying this on the regular basis? They ain't nothing but they just pay slaves, man. They hire to get slaves. The new house niggas is the entertainment. Sorry to say it, but those are the new house niggas now. There's no other individuals like us that you on the street. Because if you look at it, these are things people that be like, well, I don't see I don't see racism and all this shit. And then when all of the people were talking about it, they see it.
When it happens to them, they start talking about it.
Or it happens to them. When enough people talk about it, it becomes a topic because they want to be in trend or however you see it. But I've been saying, man, this whole flag stuff, man, it's just first of all, you should have to ask somebody not to kill you. That's the dumbest shit ever I ever heard. All this a fake, man. They own teams. Any one of these people, any one of these black celebrities, now you hear Diddy and them saying it, or Jay-Z, they bought teams first, right? And then they gave their teams up. Any one of them could have started their own league at any given time. And they didn't do it. But now, they see how they treat these basketball players and these football stars and all this stuff. They ain't got no reason. The only one I don't have the team. Now, it's like I can say, but it's kind of like when they say something, or you stay on TV, it's some big important thing, and everybody want to get behind it. Breast cancer awareness. There wasn't it for breast cancer, but people are asking not to be killed. It's a fucking problem in America. It's a problem. These motherfuckers go everywhere in the world talking about defending somebody's right or women don't have rights in this country. Motherfucker, we ain't got great rights here in America where we live. When we defend our own rights, it's the issue. We need to see everybody else outside of this. I get people with it, but it comes to a lot of our rights. It's the same thing that did, back in Vietnam, that's old boy. If you listen to the speech that, what's the boxer name? He was like, you want to defend my rights right here in America. Why would I go over there and defend your rights? You don't care about my own religious freedom. It's the same shit. It's just redone over. And they shit on him when they did it. Took his belt from him because he whooped up the war for him. They did the same shit.
There was an individual on a Cowboys team racist at the end of at the end of it. At the end of it, and they got rid of him.
What does it matter? They can't do anything. No, they know they can't.
Yeah. Well.
And then the owners were fine with that. They were okay with that. They were okay. Oh, Saturday, you yell on the field, and it's, oh my goodness. You better bring your ass over here. That's not
ESPN doing that same thing with the football people or whatever. Also, you find money now, right? You find money now. They're doing the whole flip thing, football thing, because it's active real estate. That's how they see you. Either inmate or pretty much you're their property. That's how they see those place there. You're not a person, you're property. Just like slavery, you're a property.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't watch football no more. Stop following it. Stop bugging. Don't watch it. Don't have no problem with it. I don't have a problem with not putting money in these motherfuckers' pockets. I don't care.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's no shock in what we see, what's going on with this shit, and eventually more and more is going to be revealed, and then yeah, maybe the players will boycott. That I will support. You know, if as long as it's on TV, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm at work. I'd be lying if I didn't love the game. If I told you I didn't love the game of football, I do love the game of football, but at the same time, you know, this shit, you know, again it would take it really is going to take the players to boycott, you know. Yeah,
If they smart, they will boycott.
that's what I'm saying, but if it's on, it's on, you know what I'm saying. It's just like no different than, you know, any.
Don't boycott. If these people want to like actually serious about doing it, they can leave. Why they boycott and sign? Sign them for today. Why they boycott? These not worry about it no more. You got a bunch of free players that's boycotting. They still through the league, and now they can't get back. Changes will happen because they can't make money off of you no more.
Yeah.
They already losing money from football right now. They already said they're losing money.
Yeah. Well, Ebony, it's that time. You know, we get into the closing part, so I'll let you do what you do. If you have a rant in mind, I'm sure you can go off of just about, you know, anything that upsets you. But you got anything in mind that you wanna speak on?
Yeah, workplace people. I don't give a damn what kind of job you have. You keep me in toilets all day. You're not coming to work looking at hot shit. I get it if you can't afford clothes. You can buy some nice clothes in the Goodwill or wherever. I was thinking pull out an outfit from somewhere. But what I'm saying to you is dress accordingly in the workplace. I don't want you serving me food and half your clothes are popping off, your boobs popping out, or your clothes, you know, like you ain't combed your hair in days, and I see your friends just hanging out from the couch. I'm sorry, but I don't want to find food in there. And, you know, you smell in some kind of way. You better just wash it up, something. You know, I'm just saying, I told somebody, I didn't even know they worked there. And I was like, this ain't even sanitary looking. Like, it's just call me and get up down, call me, like, I swear somebody went some food in the food. I don't know, I ate it, and, you know, but still. Learn how to, and workplace etiquette too at that. Not trying to be magnificent in the damn restaurant. With the people and stuff. Act like you got some damn sense. Change your voice to sound like Becky or something. I don't care. Don't bring it in the workplace.
Right.
You know, there's a time and a place for everything. You know, don't come in there talking with slang. I'm just saying, you know, telephone like the same way. Some people don't understand. Just talk seriously. You know, that's all I got. You know.
Okay. All right, Croombe, man. What's up? What you got on the entertainment world, man?
It's just you gotta be professional. I say act like.
Yeah. Yo, what y'all got on the what you got on the entertainment world? Jeff, what's popping? What's going on? You already mentioned the Big Crit album. I haven't listened to it yet, but I know it's out.
I haven't got any music. Usually I'm on it, but it's been like I've been putting money in the cars and dollars do stuff. So
Right.
But that Great Things came out last night actually. I think second season, so you need to get on that. You know, and also watch what is it, Bone Too Strong Girl?
Bone Too Strong Girl.
Yeah, they got some good. Watch some Korean shows, man.
Yeah, they're good.
Korea makes some good TV shows. They only last like a season, most of them.
But they don't
like having drawn out stuff, but they be good. They detailed story and plot be good. It ain't like watching like some of this shit in America. I ain't gonna lie, it's way better.
Okay. For me, you know, I went and saw Marshall this week. Very, very compelling film, man. Chaz Boseman and Josh Gad did a phenomenal job. I advise everyone to go see, whether you're black, white, green, red, whatever the case may be. I advise you to go see that movie, Marshall, man. It was a great great film, showing a depiction of America, back in like, I want to say the 40s. It looks like about 40s or whatever. But it was just great, to see people overcome, just to see justice done, and the way things operate, operated for a black man. A lot of things that we see going on in today's society that tends to flip on the black man, that actually worked in his favor. So, I just think that, it'd be great for anyone. It'd be a great date. It's a great date movie. It's a great movie to teach you a little bit. It's all of the above. They did a great job pulling off this film. I'm unable to say enough about how great of a portrayal of Thurgood Marshall that Chaz Bowman did. Man, I'm a great, real big fan of his work. But yeah, Marshall is a great movie. The Wu-Tang album, The Saga Continues. Check that out when you can. Big Crit's album, Forever is a long time, I think is the name of it. But yeah, the newest, just look for the newest Big Crit album. Big Crit always puts out great music, man. I love this cat, man. It's Mississippi's finest right there. Nora Jones has an album out. I'm a big fan of Nora Jones. Be sure to check that out. Her voice is timeless, just as much as Adele's voice. Amy Winehouse, Etta James. It's like you can just pick their voices out like that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I want to send a special shout out to my inspiration, my motivation for doing everything I do. My daughter, I love you, baby. If you ever, get to see this, ignore that foul language. But your father, he has a foul mouth. He has a sailor's mouth. I'm the son of your granddad. But I want to make sure that she knows that I love her. I miss her very much. But yeah, what about you guys? You guys got anything you want to add before we close up shop?
I don't have much to add. You know?
No.
Okay. Well, with all these Halloween festivities going on this weekend, if you're in South Florida, it's going to be a wet one. We're supposed to get the outskirts of a tropical storm this weekend, so it should be fun. But definitely be safe. Wynwood is supposed to have some shit jumping off, so be safe out there. If it rains, definitely wear the proper precautions, to deal with that weather. But as for Romy Mac, Shugga Bugga and Croombe, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for for listening to us for however long this podcast, this episode of the podcast came out to be today. But hope you have a great weekend. You enjoy your Halloween. Be safe. And yeah, we out. God bless.